ESPN, the Jock here in Springfield, Missouri. Zimmer Midwest Springfield location. Hope you're doing well this morning on your drive in. And man, that weekend went quick, Thomas. I mean, that was a quick weekend, I think. It just seems like we were just here yesterday, but we weren't.
What'd you do? Did you have a bunch of honeydews or?
Not really.
No?
Not really. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't even remember what happened this weekend. That's the whole gist of it. It's like, we went to Sneaker Soiree.
Yeah,
MSU.
that's right. Saturday.
That was pretty cool. Had a great time there.
Did you buy anything?
Didn't win anything. I mean, they outkicked my coverage on most stuff. I mean, I was like, hey, that's great. And you're like, whoa, look what that ended up at. That wasn't happening,
What I like about it's just seeing the people, the coaches are there. It's really cool to just see a lot of people. It's just a great event for Bear fans.
First time I've gone in many, 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 many years. I went with Ann, I went with Addie, and we went through, and they would walk right ahead of me. Then they'd get something to eat at one of those concession stands, right? And then I would get stopped by somebody to talk to, and then they'd be down the way, so I just catch up with them. Then I get stopped and talk to again. They just keep moving. I just constantly catching up. But it's on the concourse. You can find where your people are.
Yeah,
it's not that bad. But yeah, it was a good time. Had a nice talk with Coach Hawkins, Coach Gutton. Had good talks with them, and it was a good trip. I mean, many people I haven't seen in many, many years. Had a good talk. Oh, Mark West probably listening right now. Talking to Mark a little bit.
Yep.
It was a good day.
Well, we kind of switched roles this weekend. Typically, I'm at events like that, and you're at a ballpark.
Yeah.
Typically,
didn't
right?
Didn't have a tournament this weekend. Yeah.
No, but I was at the ballpark all weekend.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Went good. I did 3 games, filled in. I was just the fill-in guy.
Yeah.
Did 3 games. I was 3-0.
That doesn't stink at all, does it?
Oh, I mean, I think you can squarely give me all the credit for the 3 wins.
100%. Now, so they had a good week then. The Cardinals then had a good week because
they did. Springfield won 5 of 6 against Wichita.
That's great.
Yeah, and they're in first place in the second half, 22-11. They headed out after the game last night. The bus, I had to take the equipment down to the clubhouse, and bus was already running. They were loading things up right after the game.
Where are they heading to?
San Antonio.
Oh yeah,
through the night.
That's a little hot. That's a little hop skip down there. But then they get down there. They got today off.
Yeah,
They'll travel overnight, and they got today
sleep
off,
all day.
Which is nice. Yeah, that's actually good. Better than driving during the day down there. That's nothing worse because you're like, oh, then you get down there, it's awful.
Yeah,
at least get your body back on track there. Well, that's good. So good job, Spring Birds last week, 5 out of 6.
Hey, we've got a new sponsor. See at the corner of our video up there. Are you watching the video? Do you see the video? We're on Facebook Live. We're on YouTube Live.
There, Highland Dairy, the new live streaming sponsor. Do you have copy for that or anything, or do we have to say it, or we just talk
right now? Highland Dairy, you and I have some copy that we'll do. But
nice,
great.
Highland Dairy, our new sponsor of our live stream on Facebook and YouTube. Of course, it'll be on all the shorts that you do as well. It'll be on there. So great, thank you so much, Highland Dairy, for jumping on there. Because I'm telling you, over 1 million views. We're well past me. We're working on 2 million views on Facebook this year. It's crazy. And we thank you, the listeners and the watchers out there that like to watch our stuff, and we do appreciate that. Hope we put out a good day for you, good product that you like to watch and listen to.
You know what's weird? You say that number, and people are like, "What does that mean?" Well, just put it in perspective. The year prior, when you and I weren't together, I think you filled in a little bit, but we weren't really concentrating on social, at that time.
Yeah,
you start 1st of January, but really when we blew up was when we went to the video.
Yes.
When we started streaming the show every day. And last year, prior to this, I think maybe we didn't do a lot. We had a couple 100,000, just less than a couple 100,000 views on Facebook.
For the year.
We're going to be, this week, we will be 1 million over that this week.
Wow.
Already. Woo. And we're just in August.
Wow. We're rolling. So, it's been great. Well, we appreciate everyone out there because I know some of you don't listen on the terrestrial radio. Some of you like to stream it from our app, which is great. Get that on CarPlay and get it in your car that way. Anywhere in the world, that's good. And then some of you just at work, you've got it up in the corner and you're watching on Facebook Live right now. So we appreciate that as well.
And we understand, you wanted to see, it's like watching a movie with Cary Grant or, George Clooney, Brad Pitt. We are the George Clooney, Brad Pitt of local radio / social media. I understand.
Yeah, I can vaguely make that comparison. I mean, we I don't. Maybe I don't. Well,
that may be a stretch.
That's a stretch, but hey, that's the comparison you want to go with, Tom. We'll do that. All right, and we'll do that. Hey, as always, thank you, Highland Dairy, there for sponsors. But as always, our show is sponsored by Play It Again Sports. Hey, Play It Again Sports, located in Fremont Shopping Center. All their fall stuff is in. Time to get in there and get that football gear, that soccer gear. A volleyball as well. They got the shoes, they got the shinnies, they got everything in there. Play It Again Sports, located in the Fremont Shopping Center. All right.
Big show today. It is Monday. We'll have a Manic Monday, which is our theme, but there's a lot that we can talk about from over the weekend with the trade deadline.
That's a Manic
looming
Monday.
Today. The end of the trade deadline looming later on today.
6 p.m. Eastern. Well, it's 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Central will be the end of the trade deadline. Already a bunch of trades made over the weekend. Of course, the big one, Scooble, going to the Dodgers from the Tigers.
The rich get richer.
The rich get richer. That staff now has 4 Cy Youngs on their staff between Snell and Scooble. Of course, then you got Shohei as well, an MVP. But people all week are, oh my gosh, that's the landscape we're in now.
How can they afford that, Rob? How can they afford that and other teams cannot?
Well, because they have a lot of money and they defer all their contracts. So that's going to be the big thing in the CBA coming up. Are deferred contracts going to become prohibited? Is there going to be a salary cap and such? And this right here, and then of course I tell you what, I guess I don't know if you saw this, but this was Andrew Friedman, the president GM of the Dodgers, saying, everybody's on him about, the Dodgers are ruining baseball, blah, 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 and these are the rules that are laid out there. Okay. They're not breaking any rules. These are the rules laid out there. They just happen to have an extremely smart, first and foremost, smart and rich owner. Mark Walter from Guggenheim, smart first, then rich, because his smarts made him rich. And he's running this team like he does his funds, his investment funds, smartly. These are the rules laid out, and he's following them. It is what it is. I mean,
so if there was if they had a cap and had to work around a cap, things would be a lot different.
Oh yeah. Well, they wouldn't have got Scooble first and foremost.
Well, they wouldn't have half their pitching
half
staff,
their team,
right?
Yeah. So if you think about it, and and I get it. Juan Soto signed for what? Some astronomical number, right? 700, 800 million, whatever it was, or whatever. On the proposal from the owners now, he would have been limited to a $280 million contract over 5 years. Okay. But he got 10 years, 800 or whatever he ended up getting, right? I get it. I can see from a player standpoint, hey, I would have only made this, blah, blah, blah. Well, hey, dude, you made that. This is not going to affect you, man. You're never going to sign another contract ever in your career. That's another thing I want to tell these some of these superstars that got the big deals. You don't have another deal coming. You're fine. It's the future guys coming through. They're going to suffer from this, if that's, quote, suffer. But we all know that from the NBA model, from the NFL model, every single team can compete every single year. And usually the teams that don't win are the what? The bad management teams, right? They're the ones that don't run their teams right. But if you want everybody to participate and be successful, and listen, it sounds kind of like in a capitalist world, this is the way it goes. But sports that's not how it operates. You got to find another billionaire owner somewhere to prop up the Royals, because the Royals aren't going to be able to compete in this. Now, the Royals would lose on management. So it didn't really matter at this point.
So let's talk about this real quick, and let me throw out who's on the show today. We need to set
we
that
gotta
up.
set the show up here.
And then I got to ask you a question about money and the Dodgers. Coming up at 7:40, Vice President of Missouri State, part of the Alumni Center, the Development Center, Brent Dunn, going in the Missouri State Athletic Hall of Fame. He's retiring after this year. A lot to talk about. Brent Dunn at 7:40, part of our Bear Tracker. Day number, Rob?
33?
33.
Yeah.
Remember that? It's right there. You got it right in front of you there. The calendar, the massive calendar that, we threw away I put a lot of time and effort into that.
As last week. All right, now we're back on 33.
33 Bear Tracker days until the Bears get on a jet plane, probably a single engine prop or something like that. Head to Texas A&M. They play September 5th against Texas A&M.
I'm so pumped for that game. You're pumped. You'll be on the sideline. 12th man be yelling in your ear all the game.
They will indeed. I'm looking forward to that. I was very excited about the USC game last year, and it was, to get my picture there in
that's awesome.
Olympic Stadium.
Yeah.
I'm like, goodness gracious.
And hear that fight song from USC.
Yeah,
dun,
the horse coming
dun, in. And you're like going, this is so cool. Then they just run roughshod. There they go.
Yeah, it was ugly. Yep. Then at 8:00, we're going to talk with Dennis Hill, who's a local umpire. Mm-hmm. There's a lack of umpires in the area.
I wonder why.
We're going to talk to Dennis Hill about that at 8:00 this morning. And we'll visit with him in a little Monday morning mayhem sometime during the day as well. But so LA, they've got a pretty rich owner, right? So he's got some money. He's got some wherewithal.
He's got a lot of money.
Right? But LA also in a pretty big TV market. So there's some money coming in there, right?
Yep.
They've won the World Series the last couple of years. There's some money there.
They're an iconic franchise, too.
But you got to wonder, and I'm just asking you a question because you're a money man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How is it that they've got, you look at their salaries, their payroll, which is astronomical.
480 million, almost something like that, I think. Yeah. Highest ever.
How can they do that? Is it him just coming up with money out of his pocket? Are they losing money? The franchise losing money?
No, they're making money. That's the thing. For all the reasons you just said, Tom, they're making money. Second largest TV market. They have one of the best TV deals, local TV deals in the world. They've also got that money coming in. Their merchandise sales, because they are the Dodgers, one of the iconic franchises of Major League Baseball. They would be what you consider a national team, right? Yankees, Dodgers are national teams. They're fans all over the country. Kind of one of the things they did back in the day, if you remember, they have a lot of fans in New York still from their Brooklyn Dodgers day. They got a lot of fans in Florida from their Vero Beach Dodgers day when they had spring training there. Now they're out in Arizona. But they just have a lot of things going on. They've signed the biggest players. So they said when they signed Shohei, $800 million 10 years for Shohei, right? They made up that money in 1 year of jersey sales and endorsements and everything else and advertising. 1 year, his entire contract. Just think about that for a second.
Wow.
So it's just they paid for him in 1 year. Now they put him on the layaway program. They put everybody on the deferred layaway program, which is actually a very smart thing. If you have their wherewithal as an owner to fund that down the road. Okay. If you're a cheapskate owner trying to pull that stuff off, that's not going to work because eventually they're going to come calling for their money, right? But if you're someone like Mark Walter, who runs Guggenheim, who's one of the smartest guys on the planet as far as money, his job is to have money make money. That's his job.
Right.
If you have money, his job is to make more money with the money he has. So if he knows how to do that right, and these contracts, and write these contracts correctly, and scale out what his revenues are going to be for his club, which are still astronomical, one of the highest revenue generating clubs out there, probably number 2 behind the Yankees. You go out there and you look at that, what he's going to make. He can extrapolate that out over 10, 15 years, It's time in the market. It's the time value of money. He knows that he is getting a bargain because down the road, getting a Shohei on his next deal, if it had been like a 5-year deal, not a 10-year, but 5, and he gets another deal down the road, and he's at that point Hall of Fame, best player ever to play the game, re-sign him like a LeBron. You keep signing LeBron, you keep going, keep going. If you look at the time value of money on an unrestricted budget, that's going to be astronomical. Yeah, him and only him would be able to afford him, but he's getting basically Shohei at a bargain. He's already paid off Shohei. He's already gotten his money back on Shohei. Now it's like if he took all the money he made on endorsements last year and jersey sales on Shohei, put it in the bank at 6% interest, 5% interest, he can pay Shohei forever, because he's already got his money back. The return, he hasn't even paid Shohei yet. He's already got the money to pay Shohei.
Right.
Think about that for a second.
So brings up a good point here. You're a Royals fan. I'm a Cardinal fan. I know the Cardinals. Now, they never release what they make.
Sure.
Owners never release how much money they make. I know the Cardinals, prior to the last couple of years, that ownership group made a lot of money. They were bringing in 3 million fans a year.
Gate money alone. Yeah.
I know it's not the biggest TV market, but they were making money hand over foot. We'll never know how much.
The Wits are rich because of the Cardinals. Yes.
Yes. So they decided this year that they're going to, cut back and they're going to build for the future. So basically their payroll, they got more payroll going out to players who aren't here than they do for the players
like
on
51 million or something like that. That's crazy.
So you would think the Cardinals could do something like that. And the idea being you invest now in some really good players that you're going to make that money back in the playoffs and the World Series and that kind of thing. Instead, they decided, nope, we're going to unload all these players, unload these salaries, and start from the bottom, which they obviously took a hit at the gate.
Yes, initially.
So they're not making, the last 2 years, they haven't made as much money. They're still worth a lot of money. But why wouldn't teams like that continue to try and build, and pay these big stars that the fans want to come watch to make even more money like LA is?
Sure. I think because I can't really put in perspective, but Mark Walter is not a typical owner. Yeah, he's just not. He's a money guy, right? And so if you look at the DeWitts, I don't know what the DeWitts do. I don't know how they made their money. I don't know, you may know how they made their money. I don't know. But all I can say is I think some teams could do that deferred comp plan with certain players, like a Bobby Witt, like a J.G. Weatherholt, if they want to do, or, these iconic players that come through. I'm not saying, J.J.'s not quite there yet, but, a Bobby Witt Jr., you could do that. But they can't do it for like 7 or 8 guys because I don't think they have the money. They're billionaires. They may be billionaires, but a lot of them are billionaires on paper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're billionaires because they own a franchise or they own a business or whatever. It's not exactly liquid cash. Mark Walters, both. And I think that's the thing. He's not afraid to do it because he knows down the road. He probably has hedges in place in markets, stock markets or what have you. Hedges in place. If something goes sideways, he can pay for all his players. It's just he's smarter. Not smarter. That's just what he does, I guess. I don't want to say smarter because all these owners, they're smart guys, but he knows how to make money on money. That's why. So I think a lot of these owners are like, okay, we can't compete with that. We need a salary cap. But for the viability of the game, I would agree. The salary cap has got to come into play at some point. So, all right, we can talk more about that on Show Me the Money. That's tomorrow. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about because we're going to see how these contracts stack up. Trade deadline day, 5 p.m. today. You're listening to The Opening Drive with Tom and Rob on ESPN The Jock, brought to you by Play Against Sports.
The question is out, and the internet has opinions. We've put today's hottest sports topic up on X, and now it's time to see where you stand. The Sports Poll Question of the Day on the Opening Drive with Tom and Rob on ESPN The Jock.
What a stupid question that is. What a stupid question. You ask a lot of stupid questions.
The Sports Poll Question of the Day on the Opening Drive with Tom and Rob on ESPN The Jock.
Back on the Opening Drive with Tom and Rob on a Monday morning, August 3rd. We're in August, Tom. August.
You know what that means?
Football's coming.
School starts.
School starting. Yeah.
Football. Fall is around the corner.
Yep.
Man, it felt like fall Saturday, didn't it? When
the whole weekend felt like fall, like overnight.
Yeah.
Wake up in the morning, you come outside and like, oh my gosh, it's cold out here. I loved it.
I did too.
I like fall. Fall's one of my favorite times of the year. I like spring though too, because that's the starting of the growth and it's warmer days and stuff. I don't mind summer. This heat, when we have that crazy heat, I don't mind heat. I hate winter, man. I hate winter. And there's not a lot of words I can use to describe winter that's positive. I'm just not a winter person.
I'm a little backwards, I think, because when I'm working like this and it's beautiful outside, I get a little depressed.
Yes.
Because I'm not out there. I'm,
correct.
Inside and I'm looking out the window. If I have a window, it helps a little bit just to see what's going on out there. But I get a little depressed when it's really nice.
I'll talk to Mr. Zimmer, getting us a window like up front.
Well, cool. It doesn't matter on the show here because we're busy. But when I'm done, my office has got that little window that's real little window, but get to see a lot of squirrels and bunny rabbits.
Yeah. Since I started here, we talked about that back in January. In winter, that's one thing, right? But see, I used to get up in the morning, real leisurely, got my coffee going, got my computer. If it's a nice morning like we've had, I'd be on the deck, kind of getting going, working a little bit, just kind of easing into the day, having coffee with my wife. Now both of us have to be at work by 7:00. What's wrong with that? We screwed that up. I don't know what happened there. I mean, all of a sudden we're out of the house at 6:30 or 6:25. We're rushing off. I'm like, well, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, but think how much fun you're having.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's great till those Saturday mornings time you're outside going, it was like this all week. Where were we at? Wrangling kids and talking to you people. It's fine. It's all good.
It's good. Hey, it's time for our poll question of the day. Every day at this time, we put a poll question on social. It's on Twitter or X. So you can go to the 96.9 The Jock handle on Twitter or X. Same thing. And today's poll question has to do with the trade deadline, Rob. Today is the final day of the Major League Baseball trade deadline. Would you rather your team, here's your options, trade prospects for a star, keep your prospects, possibly miss the playoffs, or stay pat, do nothing? Would you rather your Royals, of course, they've already made a trade.
By the way, that was a good trade. That was a really good trade.
Lane Thomas and
Bailey Falter.
Yep.
But the kid we got in return, the two kids we got in return, those are legit. That one was number 8 for the Braves, number 11 for us, but right-hander, the Braun kid, he can play. That's a good trade for us. We actually got something for Lane Thomas.
Really good for you because Lane's been in your doghouse all season long.
I'm Lane's biggest fan now. I'm his biggest fan. I want him to go out and rake for the Atlanta Braves, man. That's awesome. No, but here's the thing. He wasn't going to be with us anyway, but it's like we were using him this year. The Royals were using him as some, I don't know. It's all Quatrero. I mean, this whole lefty righty matchup thing he's been doing all year and getting it wrong all year. That's what frustrated me about it. Not that Lane Thomas couldn't play, but it's just Lane Thomas should not be your leadoff guy. It's just, that's not who he's ever been. And then him playing center field over Isbell, who's one of the best defensive center fielders in the game, just because we're facing a left-hander, it just made no sense to me. It just, that's the reason I don't dislike Lane Thomas. I just said that's not how we need to use him. Now that he's playing for the Braves, huge fan. And he got a good player in return. Thank you, Lane Thomas, for your service.
Good stuff. Some other trade deadline moves made over the weekend. Of course, Skubal going to the Dodgers. We talked about that. Makes his debut tomorrow. So for L.A. Louis Castillo to the White Sox.
Yeah, that's a big deal. And the White Sox are taking on all that salary, by the way. That's shocking. Not shocking, but usually they dump salary and the team that trades the player sends some money along, some cash considerations. But the White Sox are taking it all on.
Crazy. Camilo Doval to Pittsburgh, pitcher. Freddie Peralta to Tampa Bay.
Big trade with the Mets. That's a big one. That gives the Rays a number one starter. I mean, they already had one, but that gives them another one.
Mets with a fire sale going on.
Oh, they're selling
this weekend. Yep.
Yeah.
Who else? We got Bo Naylor and Cody Hewer. Were traded to. They're from Cleveland. Can't even remember I didn't write down who they got traded to.
Bo Naylor. Hold on. I know that.
And then
I know that.
Jameson Taillon went to Toronto from the Cubs, and then Louis Garcia to the Yankees.
Yeah, it's a good trade. Okay, so the Yankees trade there for Garcia, who's just having a phenomenal year. The problem is he plays second base. Problem is they already got second baseman, Jazz Chisholm. Then he plays some first base. Well, they got Paul Goldschmidt over there, and they got somebody else too at first base. Oh, Ben Rice. He doesn't stink. 31, 32 home runs. They trade for a guy who they don't have a spot for. Yankees. We talk about the Dodgers trading for somebody. The Yankees trade for people. They already have people playing in that position, so they have to play him somewhere else. I mean, you only have one designated hitter, so there's no room for him. But Garcia got like 20 some odd home runs, or I don't know what he's got this year, 78 RBIs. It's a good trade offensively. He's also the worst second baseman in the league, by the way.
Oh.
So what do you want him to do? DH? Well, you already got DH guys, but the Yankees don't care. They'll find a place for him. They'll probably move Jazz Chisholm back to third, probably.
Looks like the White Sox, they made another trade here. Mets, let's see. I got a minor trade here this morning. Looking at the Bo, there's cash considerations for that one. Lane Thomas.
Angels scratched Jose Soriano yesterday from his start. He's going to get traded. That's Mozeliak. He'll trade everybody.
Milwaukee got Naylor and Hewer.
Oh, that's wow.
From Cleveland.
Cleveland's selling. That's interesting. I thought they wouldn't be sellers. I thought interesting there. He must have had an expiring contract then. Must have been just dumping him because of that. Got something in return. Angels scratched Jose Soriano yesterday. Right now, it looks like everybody's for sale with the New York Mets. Everybody's on sale. Mozeliak, it looks like he's selling everybody and the Angels as well.
Maybe even big guy going to Philly. The rumor was
Trout to Philly is what I'm hearing too.
Yes,
I think they're working on that deal. I think Trout and Philly, because didn't he grow up outside of Philly?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So Trout to Philly is definitely a possibility. Trust me, Mozeliak, he will sell everyone. It's not his team. It's like he's interim. I'll sell them all.
Well, he wants the job, and he may get it.
He may get it.
Yeah. He's kind of vying for that GM job there. So that's kind of strange, isn't it? Acted like he stepped down of his own accord. So I think there was. Nope.
I think you got. I think it was. You know what they say in the biz, right? By mutual agreement.
Yes.
Makes it sound like, oh yeah, let's
retire,
blah blah blah. No, it's more than. I think it's the more mutual was on the Cardinal side, saying, we're going to go with Heimblum.
Time to go. 20 years.
Yeah, you did your time, right? Looks like Seattle is looking to deal right now. Don't expect a Mason Miller blockbuster before the deadline, they say. That could be a shock because the price for Miller, I guess, is through the roof because he's under control through 2029. So that's a lot of control. So you're going to have to give an arm and a leg and maybe 2 legs for Mason Miller from the Padres. I'm just kind of skipping through some of these things here. Yeah, there's Casey Mize, of course, could be moving on from Detroit now that Skubal's gone. Detroit's turned into absolute sellers now with Skubal leaving. And not surprising. They made that remember they made that little false flag thing last month, about 3 weeks ago. Oh, we're all in. We're keeping Skubal. We're going. We have a chance. I'm like, but if you looked at it, yeah, there were only so many games out, but they had to leapfrog literally 10 teams to get even in. I mean, and you don't control those 10 teams. It's not like you're 5.5 out from the team you're chasing, one team. You got to jump like 10 other teams. So I knew they were going to trade Skubal. Oh, Hunter Green might be up for sale from the Reds, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that too. Hey, some notes, just some observations from this weekend, just on baseball. Okay. So I did a couple of Springfield Cardinal games, a couple things I noticed about baseball in general. Number one, the Texas League, where the Springfield Cardinals play. Mm-hmm. So they've got another full month and, some games left to play.
Yes.
So going into yesterday, Texas League teams have hit 1,050 home runs this year.
Okay.
Last year, the entire season last year, they hit 823. They have another month to go. They've hit 200 and, almost 50 more home runs this year already than they did last year.
Really?
That's how the game is changing.
Wow.
It's all or nothing. The Springfield Cardinals, who lead the league in the second half of the Texas League North, they're in first place at 22-11. They're the number 4 offensive team in the league with a team batting average of 253. 253. Nobody really hits well in this league.
Yeah.
There's a ton of strikeouts and a ton of home runs. And then I see Major League Baseball, this note this weekend too. So just observations from the game. Major League Baseball, the number of times going into yesterday, the number of times a starting pitcher, this changed yesterday because of Freeland's performance against the Royals, by the way.
Okay.
Because he pitched a complete game. But the number of times a starting pitcher retired a batter in the 8th inning, okay?
All right.
In 2011, it was 711 times a starting pitcher recorded an out in the 8th inning. In 2011, 711. In 2012, 603. It dropped almost over 100 in 1 year. 2016, it goes down to 397. 2017, 292, another 100. In 2021, 155. This year, 89. 89 times a starting pitcher retired a batter in Major League Baseball. Think about how many games we have.
Yeah.
The number of times a starting pitcher retired a batter in the 8th inning this year, 89. We can say 90 because of Freeland's performance against the Royals yesterday. But there'll be less this year. Could be around 100 this year, and it's just continuing to drop. That's just how baseball is these days.
Well, and that's what I was talking with my kids over the weekend about. When they pulled Cameron the other day, right?
Yeah.
He was one hitter, and they didn't let him come out for the 9th. I mean, I don't understand why that. Well, there's your stat right there. They don't do that anymore. And then Freeland yesterday, who, dude, throws BP most of the season. I mean, 7 point whatever ERA, he's a starter. Literally, he's a left-handed bullpen thrower.
Not yesterday.
Literally shuts down the Royals yesterday for the sweep of the Rockies over the Royals. But that doesn't surprise me. That part doesn't surprise me. But yeah, hey, you're a bad pitcher. Get healthy pitching to us.
Here's an interesting philosophy too. Minnesota, the organization that Wichita plays, Wichita's AA affiliate of the Minnesota Twins.
Yep.
Their minor league philosophy is to throw guys 4 innings. That's it. The starters, 4 innings, then they get another guy. They lead the Texas League in relief pitch innings.
Really?
Because their philosophy is they're getting them ready for Major League Baseball as a reliever. They assume everybody's going to come up and be a reliever. So they're only going to throw them 4 innings.
Really?
And then a reliever is going to come in. Their relief pitchers average over 5 innings per outing, relief pitchers for the Wichita team. But that's their philosophy in the minor leagues to get them ready for the big leagues. Everybody's assumed to be a relief pitcher.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense.
That's kind of a neat philosophy.
Yeah, it is. All right. Hey, we need to take a break on the show. We got Brent Dunn coming up next. He is the VP at MSU for a little bit longer, been there over 40 years. We'll talk to him about his Missouri State Athletics Hall of Fame nod and just his career at Missouri State. Up next on the opening drive with Tom and Rob on ESPN The Jock, brought to you by Play Against Sports.
We're getting you ready for the 26th Missouri State Bears football season with our daily Bear Tracker. Find out what Casey Woods thinks, who the new players are, and what the schedule presents.
All right, Bear Tracker Day 33 as we approach our trip down to College Station to kick their tails and take their money, man. Looking forward to that. Hey, you heard it here first. It's happening, right? Brent Dunn, that's how I operate, right, Brent? We're going to kick the tail and take their money.
I know you're right.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, my friend? Look at you sitting in your office. You got your nice, you got your Bears tie going, your Bears mug going today. How much longer are you going to occupy that space?
Well, actually, we got boxes all over my office and all over the Meyer Alumni Center, because we're less than 30 days, we're moving to a new facility on campus. So, we've been in this place since 1988. So it's like going through old memories and throwing junk away. And it's sort of fun, but sort of daunting at the same time.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. I mean, that's for you. It's going to be kind of a couple times you'll have to box up stuff in the next, 6 months or so, right?
Yeah, it's sort of weird. This has been planned for a couple of years, this move. This move's not just about an office building. I mean, this is bigger than that. This will help us raise more money for the institution. The building is not an office building, but an event center. So we have the Ken Meyer Event Center that'll hold a couple hundred people. We'll have the Mercy Traditions Hall as a place where you can sort of relive the history of Missouri State, to look forward to things that are going to happen in the future through video, through static displays. We've got a Bear's Den living room that's just all decked out in maroon and white. Outdoor event center that'll have about 300 people. I mean, it's an event place. So we're excited to, although, if anybody wants to help us move, we'll take volunteers. Rob, I would even pay you a couple $1 an hour.
I'd appreciate that. To help you move would be an honor. That's for sure.
Yeah,
we go way back. You've been there, a staple at Missouri State for so long. Just tell us, when you started, did you think it'd go this long? I mean, think about it. It's what, 40 years? Are we plus 40 here?
Yeah, no. Yeah, 42 years.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's neat. When I started, I worked actually at KWTO. And
there's still space over here for you, by the way. There's a studio right over. You can go right over here and take your old seat.
Yeah, give me a job app and I'll apply.
Make sure you bring a resume. They'll want to check your references.
Oh well, never mind. But it's just been a blast. I didn't think I'd stay here 5 years, 10 years, but then, man, time goes by quick. I mean, it just flies by. And then the crazy thing is, I'd like to stay here 40 more years.
Yeah.
Now I'd be in a wheelchair and, well, I'll probably be dead. But, I love what I do, love this place, and I could continue to do it as long as I'm alive. But I know there are times and there are seasons. And so this is a season to move on to something else.
So Brent, any idea what the figure is, how much you've raised in your current position at Missouri State?
It's one person doesn't raise the money. I mean, it does take a whole institution, but a whole advancement team. So, all I know is together over 42 years, I think the total is close to 500 million.
That's what I have.
But again, that's not me. That's that's a group effort. The people that aren't even involved in fundraising, they're really involved in fundraising because they're part of the equation. So the crazy thing is, no one has said, "Hey, whoa, we got way too much money. Let's slow down."
Pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, that's never going to happen. And so the job's never done. I mean, it's just never done. And of course, in the athletic world, when I started, I never thought we'd have buckets like we have to fill now. I mean, paying athletes to all kinds of different buckets that we have to fill. It's sort of mind-boggling. So yeah, the job's never done. It continues.
Yeah, what you just mentioned on the athletic side, because for so many years, that's how I knew you. By the way, 25 years ago, I left Missouri State. 26 years ago, I left. That's nuts.
That's crazy. Nice. Tom wasn't even born then.
I know, right?
That's right.
So, but back in the day, we're talking about, you can't have somebody can't give you a ham sandwich, or we're going to go on probation. And now, they can buy all the ham sandwiches they want and put their face on a ham sandwich if they want to. But what you're talking about as far as athletics is concerned, not just playing the players, but the facilities, just the things. What you're doing to McDonald Arena, amazing. Wow, that's going to be amazing. But there's still so many more needs across so many more sports and the university as a whole. Because you're over the entire university, there's holes everywhere.
Yeah, it's funny. When we played Kennesaw State football, Ryan Howard was with us, and of course he lives in Atlanta, and sat by us in the box. And I said, Ryan, you probably don't remember this, but you were, I think you were suspended a game.
Yes.
Because we had his name and photo on a schedule card with a sponsored logo on it. And now, the athlete gets paid, you could get paid all you want to a degree with their photo on the card. But it's a little crazy.
Yeah, a lot different it was now than it was back then, for sure.
But McDonald Arena, you mentioned that is cool. I mean, McDonald Arena. So when the architects came to build our new basketball arena, they looked at all the buildings on campus, and they said McDonald Arena is probably the coolest building architecturally, and it's great. It has great bones, but it's good to see that regenerated with new life, where we're putting in football locker rooms and a variety of things there. But that's a beautiful building, and I'm glad it continues.
Yep.
So, Brent, how much room is there to grow the university now? I mean, I hear people say that the university is almost landlocked, but do you still have room there?
Yeah, we're to a point where there's not a lot of space. In the athletic master plan, you'd have to go across Grand, probably have to build a parking garage. So yeah, there's not a lot of space per se on campus. Obviously, we're downtown. Now, renovation projects, there's all kinds of renovation projects that need to be done. So it's probably moving to Grand on the south side of Grand, probably not on National, because that's on the other side of National, because that is residential area. But that's about it. And then go downtown is our space where we could move.
So downtown, you've got your building downtown. What are the plans for that? I've not heard.
So this building, the Meyer Alumni Center that we're in, that we bought in 1988, was privately owned by the foundation. So we owned that. University didn't own it. We sold it to the Community Foundation of the Ozarks. A couple of years ago. They've actually moved into the 4th floor. We still operate the building for another 30 days, and then we turn the keys completely over to them, and we move out. And so it's not only alumni development, but we had a lot of communication offices in here that they are making the move over to campus and a variety of other areas. But yeah, we have about 43 full-time employees in advancement that support all areas of the university, and then we are housed at the new Smart Advancement Center.
Okay. So I do want to congratulate you on going in the Missouri State Athletic Hall of Fame as well. People may not know that, but you were part of the athletic department in the early days. Explain what you did and I know you still do. You travel with the teams and raise money for everybody, all departments at the university. But talk about the athletic side of what you've done over the years.
Yeah, that was fun. When I started in 1985, the Bears Fund was part of my duties as annual giving director. Of course, all the athletic fundraising still flows through the foundation. Carrie Dickerson and Paige Grisham have that department now. But I started in annual giving, and then I think in 95, I added marketing to the side. And so probably 85 through 07, we did the fundraising and the marketing before marketing got out to a third party. And so that was fun. I mean, we started Bearfest Village in 1995, and that has really been a boom for football, basketball, going from Hammond Student Center to the seat assignments into JQH, what is now Great Southern Bank Arena, was a big part of it. And then, yeah, still the capital side, the scholarship side of athletics still goes through the foundation. But like I said, there's more buckets now that we have to fill than there was in 1995 or 2007 or 2015. I mean, it's just changed a lot. So yeah, I got to go on a lot of trips with basketball. It was fun taking buses, airplanes. I mean, we would take thousands and thousands of fans to men's and women's basketball. Remember, in the 1AA, the old football 1AA playoffs, when we played Stephen F. Austin, we brought the whole band, plus hundreds and hundreds of fans. And then, of course, recently with the bowl, it was great to be alive, to see us go to a bowl. And literally thousands of people in Frisco, Texas. And, oh, man, that's fun. It's just hard to have anything quite like that. That feeling of making your school, your school proud. People are excited, whether they like the sport or not. It doesn't matter. Everybody gets swept up into winning. There's nothing. Winning never gets old. Let's put it that way. And it just helps the entire university. So, yeah, I had a front seat to a lot of those really, really special moments, and knowing there's going to be a lot of special moments in the future as well.
So we've got about a minute left, Brent. Do you get to handpick your successor?
Oh, no, I do not. I do not. We'll leave that up to the president of the university. But I will, the search will start here fairly soon. I stay on through July. And so whenever that person starts, if the president so chooses, then I'll be here to help transfer and help that person with donor introductions, etc. I'm here through July, first part of July. So no, I don't get a choice in that, but I know they'll pick someone that will love the school, that really believes in higher education, believes in what we do, and so I'll just be on the sidelines at that point.
Brent, as always, so great to talk to you. Congratulations. Of course, we'll talk again, but so thankful for the great career you've had at Missouri State and all you've done for the Bears.
Well, thank you, and appreciate Tom and Rob's friendship over the years and supporting Missouri State. And you guys make it fun to be a Bear.
Go Bears. And we're gonna kick Texas A&M's butt, by the way. Hey, we're at the top of the hour, and we'll be back after this on the opening drive with Tom and Rob on ESPN The Jock.
Thank you.
All right, back on the opening drive, hour number 2 on a Monday, August 3rd, as we roll on, as we start another week. Now we're in August, so time's a ticking. If you're going to getting back to school shopping, all that kind of stuff, better get it done. I guess tax-free weekends next weekend, I think. So take advantage of that. That's next weekend. Our show, as always, sponsored by Play Against Sports, and Highland Dairy now sponsoring our stream. Pretty excited about that. Thank you, Highland Dairy.
Day one today. It's also day one of the new lineup at ESPN.
Oh, I forgot about the Golics come in after us. I saw.
Right.
Saw I think Mike Jr. out there in the hallway. That's awesome.
Drinks the same coffee you do.
Caldies.
Yep.
Go.
There you go.
They're not here, actually, people. But anyway, maybe they are. I don't know. So we got a great guest coming on now. Dennis Hill, one of my good friends, a longtime umpire here in the area. Dennis, how you doing today?
I'm great.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. Actually, you are here because there is a need in this community of umpires. And I know you've been doing this a long time. And just tell us a little bit about what's going on out there in the umpiring world right now.
Great things are happening out there. We this year in Springfield at the Park Board, Greene County Park Board, was the first year that we had umpires and did not have empty fields without umpires.
Really?
Yes, sir. We I want to say we had about 30 guys come out this year and work. And unfortunately, some of those guys were college kids from football players from Evangel that did some really good jobs. But they are graduating and moving on, and we are going to need to replace those guys. And we're starting to do a training program here here at the Park Board every Sunday from 4 to 7. Training new guys coming in to work as umpires.
So with obviously with the turf fields out there, just more use at Cooper or at Lake Country, that area, Killian. Yeah, there's need for more and more umpires every year, especially here this year, right?
Yes, sir. We every year we lose usually about 10% of the umpires. It's either from aging out, guys that have been doing it for 30 years and have aged out, or people that have moved away. This year we will probably have about the same amount losing, but we have, I want to say, another 30 coming in to be trained.
Oh.
So we are short umpires statewide, but this year we've held our own number wise, and it's due to the training that we've had this year at Springfield Park Board. We got a lot of good feedback from the teams, that have been playing there over the last couple of years, with the training that we've provided this year.
You know, umpiring, really, it's easy to get into. Honestly, I've done it I've been an umpire for 30 plus years. It's easy to get into. It takes a special kind of a little mentality, but we can all help these umpires by just kind of keeping our mouths shut and just letting them do their job. Right, Dennis? No, I mean, I'm serious, because it's very, you learn that they're not handing out scholarships at the Park Board. Okay. So we don't really need to get too far into this, do we?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have the privilege of umpiring in several different areas of baseball, high school, college, highly competitive travel baseball, as well as rec. I do the Cal Ripken and Babe Ruth World Series every year for the last 5 years. And I get to travel and go to the regionals that for these teams that qualify. And I'll tell you, in high school, it's highly competitive, intense. Fans are on the edge sometimes. There's a lot of training that goes into it. And then when it gets to travel ball, it's even more intense because there's so much money that is poured into it. The training, the teams, the travel, the vacations that families that are out there. This year, the majority of the I guess the loudness came from the travel ball. And when I was done with the travel ball and I moved on to the regionals for the World Series today, I noticed a total different atmosphere. And I don't know if I don't know. I'm sure there's several reasons this is, but the last few weeks I've done Babe Ruth and Cal Ripken, which is rec baseball.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
These are not travel teams. These are local teams that just play together.
Qualify through a tree to get there. Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And now some of these teams have traveled far distances. For instance, yesterday I had Oregon playing Canada here in Branson, and when you talk to those guys, they're like, "Yeah, we flew in and we played these guys up in Canada 2 weeks ago to qualify for this, and it was we're all friends. We're all when you see them interact on the baseball field, it's not anger, it's not they are out there being competitive, but it's a different mentality that I'm recognizing.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that rec baseball, those kids are out there just playing with their hearts and doing everything that they can to help their team win. And when their team is not winning, that's when you usually hear the stuff coming from the crowds, and the stands, and sometimes you even hear it from the players on the field. These last couple weeks, I've been really encouraged because I've seen these players talking to themselves, their own players, instead of the other players. We have to address this quite a bit with sportsmanship, where teams will talk to each other, and it's not always nice. But these last couple of weeks doing the Babe Ruth and Cal Ripken, I've noticed that these guys don't have the stress on them, and they're out there just having fun. They're out there just loving the game. And I have found myself walking off the field with tears in my eyes, witnessing it, because it's very rare. This is the end of my season. I've probably done 200 games this season, no joke. 200 baseball games from high school, college, and summer. And being able to witness that on the baseball field, I do what I do because I love this game. I want to get back to the game. And when we deal with the outside instances, it's not very easy to remember why we're here. And when you see the kids that are out there playing the game like this, it really makes the umpire's job a lot easier, and appreciate the game more.
So, Dennis, you had mentioned you've got some training for some would-be new umpires coming up. First off, talk a little bit about, these guys aren't going to start off doing high school or college probably. Now, maybe a couple would, but for the most part, they're going to start doing the younger age, and there's a chance to make a little extra money doing this too.
Exactly. We start off with usually working with 15 to 18-year-olds. Now there are gentlemen that have children in the game that they're no longer playing, that they would like to get back once they get in their 30s. Yes. So in the beginning, you get trained on Sundays. And there's no baseball players. It's just you're learning mechanics and where you're supposed to be in the field. And then during the week, we put you into game time situations. And it's usually 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old. Not very competitive. It's not very intense. You're just out there learning where you're supposed to be. After a few weeks, you either pick up on it or we continue to work with you. And I will say probably 10% of the umpires that we work with will get into the books, get into the videos, and get into the YouTube to watch and get better themselves. During this time, those guys make an extra, like you said, an extra $300 to $400 a week. Now on the weekends, those guys that get better, that 10% that gets better, they get to do summer baseball, or they get to do travel baseball, and that is double. So you're making about $300 to $400 a week, doing the league baseball, and then on travel baseball, you're probably going to be making double. Our young men this year that worked both probably made about $8,000 in 4 weeks.
Yep.
4 to 6 weeks.
It's good money.
Very good money. Now this is seasonal, but our season is just about over as well. We do have baseball being played over there at Springfield Park Board on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So we will be training on Sunday, and then we'll put you in the field Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and see what you can do. And from there, it's up to you how you progress. We have next levels for you to go to. Jason Blackburn is with MAU. He schedules all the high school, and he now schedules college.
Mm-hmm.
And if those that want to advance, there's plenty of room for advancement. So I start them off. I get them into the rec baseball. I teach them the mechanics and where they're supposed to be, the rule settings, and then if they want to go further, we hand them off to Mr. Blackburn, and he takes them from there.
So when does the training start? Is it this Sunday coming up, or when would that start?
So I am currently right now. I'm doing the Babe Ruth Cal Ripken World Series down in Branson, and we will be wrapping it up August 15th. The week after that is when we'll be starting.
Okay.
Sunday following. You can follow us on Facebook at Behind the Plate Baseball, and our social media handle is Behind the Plate Umpires.
BehindThePlateBaseball.com, right?
Yes, sir.
And Behind the Plate Umpires on social media.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So baseball is an interesting game. Rob, obviously a coach, an umpire, a broadcaster. Each one of us probably about every day.
I don't coach anymore, by the way. I retired 2 years ago. I don't.
No, you were coaching this year. You had to fill in. You were the fill-in coach.
I love being on the field with Rob.
But you know,
Yeah, my buddy.
you see something different every game almost.
Yeah.
I mean, there is something new, maybe not every game, but it's a funny game how things can happen just
True.
about every day.
And unfortunately, you learn it all at the young ages.
Mm-hmm.
So the umpires that we bring in, they don't know anything about baseball. They may have played the game,
Sure,
but and I ask every umpire that starts once they've been with me, how many rules have you learned since you've been here? Now, you played the game, but and we all supposed to know the rules, but you really learn the rules when you become an umpire.
Mm-hmm.
And when you first learning to become an umpire, the coaches that you're working with, they're brand new coaches, 9, 10-year-old coaches, brand new coaches. The boys that you're playing with, 9, 10-year-olds, brand new ball players.
Mm-hmm.
They know just as much as you do.
Yep.
So as an umpire, I teach our boys to go out there, look sharp, stand tall, and look like you know what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Because if you do, chances are you're going to be okay because no one else out there knows what they're
100%.
doing.
Yeah.
So getting started in youth baseball, this is where I got started at. When I first started umpiring baseball, I started at 9, 10-year-olds. And it is the most difficult baseball to umpire.
Oh,
Why? Because no one knows what they're doing.
No.
Yeah.
And everything that you need to see that goes wrong happens right there.
Everything's a walk.
A kid makes
the pitches just come in like
Yeah.
this.
You're like going, where'd that arch come in at?
Yes. So it's like calling breaking balls all day long.
You may see a kid swing, hit a ball, and go to third base instead of first, you know, at that age.
So you get to see everything that goes wrong at this age, and you get to really learn how to umpire the game at the young age.
Right.
And if you get good at it, when you get up to high school and college, you very rarely see the bad things happen. But when they do happen, you notice it and you're like, oh, yeah, that's a balk. Or, yeah, that's interference. That's obstruction.
Yeah.
It's easy to pick up. At the lower levels, you learn all that because everything bad happens at the lower levels.
So, Dennis, what is the toughest thing for you to call? And maybe it's level by level. I mean, college, is there something that's tough for you to call or judge? Maybe high school a little differently?
There are some balks that are a little tougher to call. In college, they have they're a little quicker coming set. I would say pitch wise, it would be the low, inside, outside sliders and curveballs, where the catcher has to, instead of catching it
framing it,
framing it, when they move their glove so far away, it is too much. It tells everybody it's a ball, even though it's probably a strike.
Mm-hmm.
But because they move so much, you can't call it a strike.
Yep.
Or the catcher just hammers the catch. He doesn't catch the ball. Unfortunately, this is not a catcher's contest.
Right.
But if they don't catch it, they don't receive it properly, that's difficult to call.
Yeah. I hate the strike call when the catcher drops the ball and you're like going, oh my gosh, really?
It's so difficult to do it. Yes,
catch
sir.
The ball.
I did the first, I don't know, 7 or 8 years of the Babe Ruth down there on video, on web streaming.
Okay.
And I appreciated, umpiring, it's different at all the levels. You better have a little bigger strike zone at that level of those games. I know there's a time limit, but still you better call an inch or two outside the zone, and a little lower, maybe a little higher sometimes. But as you get older, that strike zone changes a little bit, and the umpire has to grow with that too, right?
So yes, sir. My zone in D2 is as big as a coffee can.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
My zone in Babe Ruth, white to white.
White to white.
If you don't go white to white, you will walk. The white to white is, when I say white to white, that's 2 baseballs off the plate. In the river, it fits exactly 2 baseballs. And most of those kids are either standing on the line and can reach that outside.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not calling a strike that the kid can't hit.
Yeah. Hit,
You know what I mean?
call hittable pitches, basically.
Right. You can't, and cameras are so good today that if you do call that pitch and your assigner's watching, you might get a phone call later. hey, you think this is a strike? Like, no, why'd you call it a strike? All right. So, I mean, we do have, me and a few other umpires have the Evangel strike, because our assigner from Evangel, he got us. He seen that we called one of those strikes, and he called us up and said, hey, guys, you got time for a Zoom call? So we don't want those Zoom calls. We don't want those phone calls. So we will call it a tighter zone. But in Babe Ruth, or in the rec league, I say it as soon as we get up to the plate, to the catcher. I tell the catcher, hey, my name's Dennis. How you doing? And I always introduce myself, Dennis the Menace. How you doing?
Mm-hmm.
We're going white to white today. And he's all right, good. So they know before we even, and I say it loud enough that the first on deck guy hears it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to tell all his guys.
Yeah.
So the next catcher, when he comes up, the bottom of the inning, my name's Dennis the Menace. We're going white to white today. Okay, cool.
They're going, who's Dennis the Menace? Number one.
Well, you will find out if you cross my path.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
will find out who I am.
Well, I've always said, as umpires, we get paid by the out, not by the runs. So you better just get it going, because
That's right.
we're looking for a way to get this game moving along. You know what I'm saying? We hate walks, don't we, Dennis? Walks. All these walks out there, umpires, we're like, we hate walks.
I only care for strikes, outs, and I'm really good at writing ejection reports.
That's it. That's it. Dennis is great, Cabinet man. That's great.
Thanks for having me
again.
guys.
You bet.
Yeah, give us that information again on how they can find out more about the training.
My name is Dennis Hill. My phone number is 417-569-8141. My email address is bluethebarber77, BLUETHEBARBER77 And you can find us at Behind the Plate Baseball on Facebook, and Behind the Plate Umpires on all the other social media handling.
All right.
Great tradition down in Branson. Whenever one of the umpires would get hit, like a home plate umpire would get hit, they all take their hats off over their hearts. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's great tradition down there. I love that.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks, Dennis, for coming in. And if you want to be an umpire, reach out to Dennis. We'll have that information out there for you as well. You're listening to The Opening Drive with Tom and Rob on ESPN The Jock, brought to you by Play Against Sports.
Monday Morning Mayhem. It's early, it's loud, and it might be completely wrong, but that's half the fun. Let's overthink everything from the weekend. It's Monday Morning Mayhem on the opening drive with Tom and Rob on ESPN The Jock.
This whole weekend was mayhem in sports. I mean, just so many things going on. Just the trade deadline and I guess there's a bunch of WNBA fracases and stuff like that. I mean,
Sophie Cunningham in the news.
oh yeah, there's just so many things going on.
Tony Romo in the news.
Romo and off the broadcast team. Wow.
Judge grants the 2022 college athletes an extra year. That's
a mess.
That's kind of interesting because I hear that there are several, locally, athletes that would like to maybe play another year that were thought that their careers were over.
Yeah, and one of them we saw the Jarrett Nelson, right? He played at Florida. Nick's the guy. Played at Florida Gulf Coast. Had a great year down there. He's open for recruitment. But then I was talking to Coach Gutton at the sneaker soiree, saying there's some Bears that may be eligible to come back. Don't know who they are, but then you got to think, okay, is this going to get overturned later? Are they going to be ruled ineligible? If you have a slot for a kid, let's just say you have a slot for a kid, you go back to the one who's been with you before, get the extra years. Then all of a sudden we get to, I don't know, December or January, and all of a sudden, oh, never mind, it got overturned by the appeals court, or you know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, we don't have that slot now. Or how about this even better? They start playing and then they get overturned, they get ruled ineligible or whatever. Does that affect I don't know what that affects. It's just a mess is what it is. But I know what they're trying to do. Now, you saw this though, Tom, that the Big Ten and the SEC are now on board with this Protect College Sports Act. They're now on board with this, which is good news. We need to get our good friend Senator Schmidt back on that, because he was one of the co-signers of that that bill in the Senate. But that bill is now got the support of the Big Ten and SEC, and I think that you notice how it came at the same time. They both kind of threw their support at it. That never happens with the Big Ten and SEC. I think there's a lot of rumblings in Washington about this whole SEC. Oh, we'll just break away and we'll do our own thing. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be doing that. I think as long as you receive federal funding from the United States of America for your university, they're the ones that hold all the cards. The SEC does not. Okay. Well, that has nothing to do with sports. Well, federal funding does. Pell Grants do. Loans do. They pull their funding from a university. I don't care who you are.
Oh, yeah.
You're done. You're done as a university, because not 80% of their revenue streams from these universities that come in are coming from federal money, basically, from grants and loans and such to pay these tuitions. You lose that, you're in trouble. So I think there's rumblings in Washington saying, let's not get out of your skis there, SEC. Okay, let's just pump the brakes a little bit there.
You heard Brent Dunn say earlier that nobody's ever told us to stop raising money, because there's always a need for more money in education.
Yes, there always is. And if you lose the federal portion of it, you're done. You're just done as a university. So there's been 5 I saw universities or colleges go out of business that will not come back this fall in this country. 5, right? I saw, and that's the only ones I saw. These smaller universities and stuff, and colleges. And they are totally 100% supported by federal dollars. But then when you lose your scholarship base, you're in trouble. So I think as far as sports is concerned, there needs to be some clarity. I wish they'd have got it done before the season started, but there needs to be some clarity as far as this 5-for-5 rule. It needs to be enacted, taken care of, put on the books so that people know what they're doing. Right now, literally, you're throwing a dart at the board saying, oh, we can bring this guy back for an extra year. Oh, wait a minute. It gets overturned. And now so we don't have the guy. No, do we not have the guy or gal? There's an open spot on your roster too. So you're not fully staffed. So I don't know. This is going to be interesting.
It's crazy because you're seeing things going on now in the legal system, both for politics and sports. You get one judge that can rule one way.
Yeah.
and then they're going to appeal it. They're going to go this way. It could change in a couple of weeks.
These district judges, I don't care if it's for sports or anything else. I don't understand how a district judge, for example, I don't know who the district judge here in the western state of Missouri or whoever that is down here downtown by the John Q. Hammond's Tower or whatever, whoever that judge is. If that judge today decided to issue something, somebody came before that judge, man or woman, I don't know who it is, decided to issue something, that judge can do a nationwide injunction over every district in the country. I still don't. That's not in the job description of district judges, by the way. If you look up the judiciary and the judiciary branch and the responsibility of district judges, that's not in their purview, which is really frustrating because you can have somebody, because what you do, they go judge shopping, right? They go, They find the judge that will go, they'll get in front of that judge, they'll present their case. Okay, injunction nationwide. So it's not a good way to do that. That needs to be corrected in our society for everything, politics, sports, whatever it may be. That district judge should just be over Colorado where she was. That's it. You should ban all the Colorado schools in her district. That's it. That's it. I mean, that's how it should be. I mean, if you're a district judge of your district, you're not a national judge. So that's real frustrating there.
Seems like we're seeing a lot of political judges, ruling the way that they lean politically instead of by law.
Yes.
It's obviously the way they interpret the law based on their political leanings. But man, it just seems like, well, does it really? I mean, is it real? Because this judge over here is going to rule this way, and we're going to have a judge that leans the other way. Change it over here. And then what is the law?
Then it's got to go to the appeals court, right?
Yep.
And then it's got to go to the Supreme Court, and that just takes time. So for anything out there, anybody has a disagreement with something, fine. We'll file an injunction against, and it's nationwide, and then it's just a mess. It clogs up the system. But on the sports side of it, Tom, I think everybody. I don't know why she ruled that way. I think because there's going to have to be a bubble at some point. You know what? There's going to be a year that's going to be uncomfortable. Does that make sense? There's going to be a year where somebody's going to get shortchanged athletically. Because you have to implement this plan. If you got people going to school for 7 years, 8 years, and playing all those years, when you lop it to 5, at some point somebody's going to get, for lack of a better term, screwed over. It's going to happen as somebody's going to have to be the sacrificial lamb to get to the next level. Who is that going to be? Or are we going to keep filing injunctions and filing things until it means nothing? At some point, somebody's going to COVID, for example. Hey, how many kids in our community alone didn't get to play their senior year spring sports season, right?
Yeah.
How many college athletes lost? Ryan was a freshman at SBU when COVID came in. He was at Lindenwood playing when they shut down the world, that weekend. He lost the rest of his freshman year. He was just getting ready to start that year. He earned his way into the lineup, and all of a sudden the year shut down, and then it's like, well, that stinks. Then you got a transfer. Then you got an extra year of eligibility here because of that. Then you got a redshirt year because of this. Really what's going to have to happen is they're going to have to eliminate redshirt years. They're going to have to skinny it down. Maybe it's not 5 for 5. Maybe it's 5 for 6. I don't know, with an injury. I don't know. But with money involved now, everybody's involved. If you think about it, Tom, if there's no money involved in this, let's just say there's no NIL money at all. None. Nobody's getting paid at all. Let's say it's the old school format. I guarantee you those kids will be out of college in jobs. You know why? They're not getting paid to stick around and play. I mean, how many times when I was in athletics did I see somebody go 5 years, let alone 6 years? I remember one time I had a kid go 6 years, but you know why he went 6 years? He was on the GI Bill thing, and he had to do the what we call the National Guard, where he had to go serve back in the 90s. He had to go serve overseas. So he basically got his college put on hold, and he came back, and he ended up, so end to end, I think he ended up doing 7 years. I think it was Washburn when I was there. He ended up doing 7 years in school, but 2 of them he was spent overseas serving our country in an Army National Guard capacity. So that's a little different than now, where you just stay 7 years and get paid for 7 years. It's not sustainable. It's hurting college athletics by having these people stay this entire time. Get in, get out, go get a real job.
What I hate the fact that it happened at this time, because the judge said that the 2022 athletes can now play that extra year. Well, basically the year has started.
Yes.
I know officially practices haven't, but they really have.
Wednesday here, Missouri State starts Wednesday, right?
How are you gonna bring in a couple more athletes to a roster that's been together all summer, which they really have been practicing, even though it's unofficial, official, whatever
Working
you want
out.
to say it. Yeah. And we've heard stories. Mizzou's got a basketball player, Mark Mitchell, who wants to come back. Sure they do, play another year. NIL, they're getting paid. They didn't get drafted. They're not making any money they're not going to make any money in the G League if they play basketball at a high level. So come back and you can make some good money in college. But the roster's already kind of set. They've been working out. Yeah. And now you're going to bring back a guy that's, or girl or whatever it is. And at this time,
it doesn't
you got
make
tough
sense.
decisions to make. The coaches have very difficult decisions to make, to tell one of their, former players, maybe a great, maybe a really good all-conference performer, sorry.
Yeah, spot's gone.
Yeah.
Well, it has to happen at some point. There needs to be a transition. And I'm upset that the SEC and the Big Ten did not get their act together and get that passed. I think that would have been bipartisan. That Protect College Sports Act would have been bipartisan and been done and in the books this summer, so all these coaches can operate on, okay, here's the new law in effect through the NCAA. Here's the law, 5 for 5, whatever the law is. Okay, maybe they make some tweaks, and they know what the game plan is going forward. Then they can start building out these G leagues, these supplemental pro leagues, USBL or something. Maybe some of these other leagues pop up. They can give these guys an opportunity when they're done to go play at another level. Why can't we have more than one little league out there? Why can't we have USBL and remember the old Continental Basketball Association?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we bring those type of things back for these guys to go ply their trade? If people want to pay money to go watch it, they will. It's a capitalistic society. If they want to do it and make a run for it, great. But for them to come back to, I need to come back to college and make a little extra money. No, go get a job. Go get a job. Okay, by the way, jobs out there are not now TikTok influencers or NIL basketball or football players. Those are not jobs, okay? That money will run out.
Shoot, I was going to get into TikTok.
Right? That's maybe what we should do. Get into TikTok, because those are not jobs.
You ever see me dance?
No, and I don't want to. Maybe some people out there do. But if you look at it, being an influencer is not a job. That's being lucky. Lucky somebody watched you and it went viral, okay? Most people, I see people post stuff out there, I'm like, it's not, whatever, okay?
Yeah.
But I get it. That's what people are aspiring to now, to be a TikTok influencer or stay in college and play basketball or football or whatever. I'm sorry. Those are not jobs. Go out and do something productive in this society. Go out and do something with your life and raise a family and do something for real, because that's all not real stuff. Grow up. Leave college. These people, these parents can't get them out of their house. Now the colleges can't get them out of their college. You go to college to get an education, not to go to college to play football or basketball.
Well, and I always thought there was a limit on scholarships per sport. There used to be. I remember in baseball, it was like 11 point something for the whole team.
For the whole roster.
Basketball, it was like 13 for men, 15 for women at Title IX.
Yeah.
Had a few more for women.
Football's like 85 and whatever.
But apparently now, you can add players whenever you want. It doesn't matter.
See, it's sullying higher education. Higher education and colleges, you need to get back to higher education, okay? And not sports franchises. If they want to be sports franchises, they need to label themselves as such and go and form your own sports franchise leagues, not under university names. But, these chancellors, these presidents, they're not doing anything about it. They're just kind of hanging along and going for it. Hey, we got to go break, but we got a call on the line real quick. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, I got a comment on the 5 for 5. My question is, how far back do you go then?
Yeah.
I mean, why not bring back the 2011 Valley Championship team for the Bears? Just bring them all back.
Yeah. Got eligibility left.
Well,
Yeah,
they can't get out of their rocking
seriously.
chairs.
Or or the jury girls that got, they were undefeated. Why not bring them back?
Yeah.
I mean, it gets to a point like you said, sooner or later, you just got to put a year on it.
Yep.
And say enough is enough. And I'm sorry you didn't get to play 5 years. Too bad.
Sorry. Yeah.
Life goes on.
But you know what? I bet you could find a judge that would bring back the 2011 Missouri Valley Conference champs or the jury women. There's a judge out there that would do that.
They would.
But intelligence has to prevail sooner than later. I know this.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you, man. Hey, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. He's exactly right. Intelligence has to prevail at some point. Is there intelligence out there in this country to say, listen, this is the rule starting right now. Don't be sending any lawsuits. Don't be doing any of this. This is the rule. This is the one we're going through. Just because you get hurt, because you didn't get to play your extra year, sorry. Go get a real job. You know what? COVID was not fair to how many people in this world? COVID was a big stinking sham is what we just found out from the all-knowing Fauci, right? Big freaking sham.
It does bring up a great question, though, because some of these athletes, I'll just throw out this Mark Mitchell from Mizzou, good basketball player, right?
Yeah.
Made a good living at Missouri State while he was playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he gets out, wasn't drafted, probably could have played pro somewhere and made some money.
Yeah.
But he's not going to make the money he was making at Mizzou. How are these kids surviving on $75,000 a year, which seems okay for some, but they were making $1 million in college, or between $500,000 and $1 million, whatever it is. They were making a good living playing college basketball. Now they get out, they don't have that money waiting for them.
Yes.
Nobody's paying them after they get out of college. So why not go back? Heck yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lack of education, by the way, in these colleges. Train these players to know that that money will soon run out. You have to go get a real job.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the way it is. All right. We need to take a break on the opening drive with Tom and Rob on ESPN The Jock, brought to you by Play Against Sports. All right, back on the opening drive with Tom and Rob on a Monday.
Boom!
Monday, August 3rd, as we roll on our last segment of the show today.
The Golics.
The Golics are on next.
Could have been the Rodgers, could have been the Lads.
But,
your son?
Yeah.
You and your son?
Yeah.
How would you and your son do a show? How would that be?
I don't know. We're going to do one at some point.
Yes, we're going to bring in your son and maybe my brother.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Family. We'll have family. We'll kind of do something together.
We'll have a family show.
We'll talk about him sending me out on snipe hunts when I was a kid. I still going to get him with that. And of course, they named the team the Snipe. They wore their uniforms. By the way, the worst
they are.
They're. I mean, there's nothing wrong with
the uniform's fine. But you can't see it.
The number.
I saw the highlights. I'm like, there's a bunch of black jerseys running around.
Off the air, I'm whining about this. Binoculars. I'm like, I think, that's number 7.
I'm going in order that's on my list right now. The lineup to.
Yes,
I'm hoping that's the guy.
He has a little longer hair, so I think that's this guy. But anyway,
man, that's funny. But we'll have our kids. And I know you have your brother in. I'm gonna have Ryan in at some point. One of those days you're gone because you'll be gone.
Yes,
you're doing Lady Bears or you're doing football or whatever. We'll have Ryan come in and co-host. I got a schedule with him though because he's busy. I mean, like he has a job.
Yes, he does have. You work for a bank.
Yeah,
that's a little bit different than you working for yourself.
Yeah. Sure.
You got your own gig.
Well, he's got appointments all day. I'll call him and he won't call me back or whatever for like a couple hours. He's stacked with appointments, which is great. No, I'm so happy for him. Again, he's expecting a baby here, next, 3 weeks. My daughter's expecting here in the next week. So we're going to double our grandkids in 1 month. So
wow.
It's crazy.
Goodness gracious. I think we're pretty well set on that front. We've got 4. My daughter's got 2. My son's got 2.
There you go.
2 kids, 4 grandkids. I think we're set. I think that's, from what I'm told, that's it.
Well, I got 14 and 12 or 16 and 12 come through the pipe. So I'm like,
here
it comes, man. Here it comes. But hey, they're off to camp today. So I'm glad they're ready to go to camp. A little late for their camp, but church camp, but they're off to camp.
Well, a judge ruled that they could go to camp in August, a federal judge.
All we got to do is say a judge ruled.
And before
takes care of everything. We say it takes care of everything, right? A judge rule. That's your automatic.
Red, white, and ride.
Oh yes,
got to tell you about red, white, and ride. We just had at the beginning of the hour
code
word. Yep,
I don't remember what it was. I don't think I heard it.
Oh,
there'll be another one here at the top of the hour because the Golics are on next. They debut next, so you'll want to listen to the Mike Golic Sr., Mike Golic Jr. They'll be on at 9:00, and then followed by the Rich Eisen show. Oh, the other show. Gosh darn it. I wrote it down to the one that's Melton and the one that's in the middle there. Great show.
Yeah. Oh, it is good.
Gosh, I heard them this weekend. Fantastic. They'll be on 2 to 4. Freddie and Harry on 4 to 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, good stuff, man.
Real good.
I'm listening all day today.
Myron and
that's it. Myron. Yeah. And I don't know what the other one, but they're really, really
I told you it was a weekend show that I listened to every weekend.
It's amazing.
Yep.
I was listening to them yesterday. It was Saturday. I was listening to them. I'm like, this is great. They go, oh, we can't wait to go on Monday. Monday we're on at 2:00, 3:00 Eastern. I'm like, that's gonna be cool. They do a great job. So you want to listen to us all day. Golics, Rich Eisen, Myron, and I can't remember the other one. I'll learn it. And then Freddie and Harry from 4 to 7. Good stuff.
The Golics will be good because there's humor there. It's self-effacing. They're going to laugh at each other. They're going to laugh at themselves, which I like. That's the kind of humor I like.
Yep.
I'm not big into the rip everybody else.
Sure.
I'd rather rip
For
myself.
A laugh. Yeah.
I'd rather rip myself and have fun with it. I don't care.
Absolutely.
So, but they'll do that. There'll be a lot of that. And Junior will rip Senior.
Mm-hmm.
I saw an interview this weekend with the Golics and somebody. And so they were talking about, Mike and Mike, back the old Mike and Mike show, which was, ESPN morning show that blew up, Golic and Greenberg.
Yeah, Mike and Mike in the morning.
Mike and Mike. Now you've got Golic and Golic, but it's Mike and Mike as well.
Yes.
So this interview, and they had a producer that's name was Mike.
Oh.
So they're doing this interview, and they're talking about the producer, Mike.
Oh.
The 2 hosts, Mike, and now the son, Mike. I'm like, Come on, man.
Oh,
There's
my
just
gosh.
way too many.
Yeah, you got to start using last name. But they can't even use last names on two of them. You got to go junior on one of them.
Yeah, they did, but
Yeah.
it was still, I mean, goodness gracious.
Well, it'll be
Mike,
fun.
Junior, try to do an interview when everybody's name is the same. That's
Hey, Mike. Yeah.
that's not fun. Good. Well, we got Rob, and we have Rob Marsh on sometimes, right? He's
Yeah.
a frequent guest.
Rob Brenton from 96.5 The Fan came on. That
Yes.
was it, yeah.
Yep.
Did a good job.
So maybe too many Robs. Maybe we need to,
Pare down to Rob's. All right, that's it. I quit.
more Toms, less Robs,
I call you Thomas, though. There you go. That kind of helps.
or Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy. Great movie. Oh man. Well, hey, that's good stuff, man. Golik's gonna be on. I can't wait. Can't wait till top of the hour. We're gonna get our donut. We call it donut. We gotta not eat our donuts. We gotta get our promo done
So we
quick,
can listen.
So we can listen to start of the show. Yeah, absolutely. Because I have the
Absolutely.
top of the hour deal.
33 days until Bears football. And again, we appreciate Brent Dunn being our Bear tracker this morning, talking a little Bears and athletics. He's retiring at the end of this school year, or is it the end of the
July next year. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason,
He'll transition into help.
it's the
somebody
Michigan AD retiring in December. I knew somebody was
with
retiring.
7.1 million. Hey, thanks for doing nothing. Here's 7.1 million to get out of our building.
That was going to be my rant last week, but we ran out of time.
Here's the thing on rants, by the way. We have these rants. We have these jock off of the weeks, right?
Yeah.
But then kind of things happen and they kind of moves out of the news cycle. So, but I do have one. We will have one. Oh, I'm saving it because it's timeless. We'll have one coming up because that Western Kentucky kid, we didn't do one on that one. That was horrible.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll save that for Western Kentucky week.
One of his parents or somebody died.
His
in
mom
his family.
died.
Mom died.
And he went to deal with all the stuff. I guess I don't know if he's the only child, but there's no dad involved, and he's got to deal with all this stuff. And
They kicked him off the
off the
team
team.
while he was in bereavement leave.
Yes.
They said you're gonna be here or else, and or else took place, and he was kicked off.
But he
who
has
does
no
that?
avenue to transfer. That's
Right.
that's the problem. He could have transferred. There's no avenue per NCAA.
Maybe now
rule.
there is.
Oh my gosh, there probably is now.
Yeah.
He's probably back eligible again. We need to follow up on that story. I bet you he's got an extra year now because of this whole judge thing.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Hey, let's call Casey Woods, see if we can get him over to Missouri State. How cool would that be?
Play against his old team.
Yes. He's a pretty good ball player. I mean, what a defensive line kid, I think.
Athletic director Patrick Ransdell is a Western Kentucky grad.
Well, let's get that guy. I had his thing up here forever. I had it reserved. We'll have to figure that out. But
That'd be good PR, wouldn't it?
it'd be awesome. Oh, we'd run that back, dude. We'd run that back for weeks. Got this kid kicked off, and then got your eligibility back, and it's coming to a rival school. Oh, that's a great story.
I just got done writing the Bears football preview for the preview magazine.
Oh, yeah,
that
Mhm.
we do, and had a nice little ditty in there about Big Michael
Oh, yeah.
Bonsu, and his transfer from basketball to football. He has another year of eligibility too in basketball if he wanted, so he could play football. And I guess then go into basketball the second half of the season.
Did he still have basketball eligibility left, or would he graduate now? He's getting it back because of the ruling.
The ruling, because he was out of eligibility
My
basketball
gosh.
wise,
This
but
is-
now I
I'm
guess he
telling you,
could
man.
play. But
We're gonna have all these people sign up to come back and play sports everywhere. I mean, they got to get that fast track. Now, the one thing the judge did say was, if you've declared or signed with an agent for the pros or something like that, if you I don't know, I say some pro athletes are not eligible to come back.
right,
So these G leaguers are not eligible to come back.
well, somebody
uh,
like Palak, Keith Palak,
Yeah. Signed a pro deal, right?
yeah, he was playing the summer league. He wouldn't be able to come back.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you signed like a free agent contract, or you signed overseas or anywhere like that, or you signed any type of professional contract, you're not, that this ruling excludes there. So at least she made that clarification. But
Mhm.
otherwise, it's open season on bringing players back. Now, again, the problem is going to be, what if they overturn it? and then you're stuck with a bunch of holes in your roster, especially in basketball. You don't have as many players.
Quick rules question or a baseball question from this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One of the teams this weekend got a player picked off. There was first and second. Okay.
You couldn't do
Runner
this when Dennis was in here? Okay, go ahead.
I know. Well, it's not a rules. It's
Okay.
more of a
okay.
I guess scorekeeper type
Okay,
deal.
then I could, yeah.
Anyway, pick off, runner between first and second gets picked off. They get in a rundown. The runner from second goes to third, gets in a rundown.
Mm-hmm.
They run him back to second, throw the ball. Second baseman misses it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's safe.
Yeah.
Not an error.
No, it's a big fat nothing.
It's nothing, but had they got a hit after that, would that have been an error? Because nothing would have happened.
No.
That's the question. No error.
No error. Earned run. Just a circus play. That's
Yep.
it.
See something different every day.
Right.
Hey, we'll be back with you tomorrow. The Golics coming up.